Hey, it's CPA Dan Hodges. Let's talk about why reporting on proposed tax laws is not always the best idea. So, I'd like to talk about something a little bit nostalgic for a minute. Let's take a walk down memory lane. Do you remember when you were a kid watching this clip in school about how a bill becomes a law? Roll the clip.
Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
When politicians and blowhards start talking about something that they're fixing to do or they're proposing, I don't place a lot of confidence in it because what am I to do as a veteran's business CPA? Quite frankly, once that law is voted on, passed by both sides of the government, and signed into law by the president, that's when I start thinking about how could this affect my clients. But having said all that, and by the way, the link to that video is in the description, so check that out. There is this proposed tax bill that I think it has probably a likelihood of being passed for a couple reasons. Number one, it's a bipartisan bill. Number two, there are some things that do need to be addressed. And number three, it looks like it has a great deal of support. Let's explore the proposed tax bill here. First of all, in this bipartisan deal, there are talks about tweaking out the depreciation rules. So this is just another tool in the tool belt for professional accountants. Generally speaking, business owners, investors, entrepreneurs, self-employed people, if they are to reinvest in their operations, the IRS will tell them, now that you've reinvested that chunk of change, you can spread this out over as a deduction over 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, sometimes 27 or 39 years. So imagine making an investment in your business that's going to pay back over a length of time. It makes sense on the one hand, but as a business person, you are out of pocket that huge chunk of money. If you don't get a tax break for it, now it's kind of insult to injury. There's always a prescribed life by IRS, and there's some long-standing things in the tax law. For example, something you hear finance bros talk about as if it's new unseen. I mean, I learned this in college and on the CPA exam. It's Code Section 179, which does allow certain pieces of equipment, if they qualify, to be deducted all at once, giving massive tax breaks today. The problem with Section 179 is it does not apply to everything and there are limits to it. So the bonus depreciation, kind of new or unseen, it was born right after 9/11 as an attempt to spur the economy. Bonus depreciation has been rolled out and then it's been enhanced and enhanced over the years. And under President Trump, we saw it go up to 100% bonus depreciation. And it not only applied to certain types of equipment, but it was rolled out and expanded to affect things that aren't usually immediately deductible, like reinvesting in certain kinds of real estate, like commercial real estate, for example. This bonus depreciation was very widely appreciated by business people and in the economy, but it was written into tax law that it would slowly sunset and write off in the future, decreasing each year over the next few years by about 20% a year. Made some people kind of sad because now when you reinvest in your business, you do not get a full and immediate deduction, you get a deduction over time. The proposed bill brings this back at 100%, not only for 2024, but is purported to be retroactive to 2023. And that could be an amazing thing for a lot of business people, entrepreneurs, investors, and self-employed people. Another thing in the proposed tax bill is the expanded child tax credit. The expanded child tax credit would be increased from $1,600 to $1,900, and it would have some changes to the way it's calculated. Instead of being calculated and capped and tied to earned income, it would be calculated per child, which is a definite change in approach that could significantly benefit families. It's a huge win for families, it honestly is, if they do pass this law. And moreover, the child tax credit would be proposed to be refundable, because in the past, if you got this child tax credit, it could eat into the amount of tax the government calculates for you. But if the credits exceeded your amount of tax, too bad, so sad, it was gone. Under the proposed tax bill, this would be refundable, so it would not only eat up the amount of tax that the government calculates, but then if there's any additional credits left over, guess what? You get a check in the mail, which is, it's hugely appreciated by families all over the country. In addition, we have things like the R&D deduction in the proposed tax bill. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, it allowed companies to spend money on research and development, but they could get a deduction over a 5-year period, which you're out that money, you don't get a tax break in full, you get it a little bit each year. The proposed bill here would allow any United States-based research and development up to $1 million to be deducted immediately. This is, again, another massive tax break. So I think it should be widely appreciated by business people who are reinvesting in their business with research and development. We also have the expanded low-income housing tax credit, which is designed to promote development of low-income housing. It is thought that the changes here in this area could spur development of as many as 200,000 homes as low-income housing for families. In addition, in the tax bill, there's something that may not affect everybody directly on their tax return, but it's meant to spur the semiconductor and technology market, and that is no double taxation for U.S.-Taiwan companies and people who have a U.S.-Taiwan employment connection. That sector of the economy, let's face it, when semiconductors and chips are in short supply, it affects everything from vehicles to computers and microwaves and so on. So we definitely want that sector of the economy performing as well as it can be. We also have in the proposed bill better relief for natural disasters, such as what we saw in California and Ohio. Lastly, in the proposed bill, we have the total disbanding and elimination of the ERC, the Employee Retention Credit, which we all know has been fraught with abuse for a couple years now. Now, I know this all sounds well and good, right? I'm very excited about aspects of it, but let us remember how we started this video segment. This is a proposed tax bill. And this is why, for these reasons, that I normally report on actual bills that have been passed as a law and that are something you can utilize in your business. I just want to give you a heartfelt thanks for watching this all the way through, and for all of you that are my followers and fans. And if you're not, if you could give me a like or a subscribe, if you could hit that notification bell, that would be great. If you have any comments, drop them down below. I'd love to have some, discussion and discourse back and forth. Maybe there's something I can help you with and report on it as it relates to tax or business. For as a 30-year veteran business CPA, that is what I know best. It's all I know.